Pow and welcome back to my channel, Dan Who Reviews. My name is Dan W. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. Today our Marvel Legends reviews continue with this Mantis Build-A-Figure wave, and we have the last figure we need to look at before I actually review Mantis. Even though this figure doesn't even have a Mantis Build-A-Figure. So if you're a fan of Death's Head 2 and you don't want to build Mantis, then you can have no qualms about buying this figure. It doesn't come with any accessories apart from it looks like an interchangeable hand, I think. But let's open him up and find out. First of all, Marvel's Death's Head 2, we get a picture of him on the side, and on the back he gets the box art all to himself. But as always, even though he doesn't have a Build-A-Figure piece, we do have a list of all the figures in this wave you need to buy to complete the Mantis Build-A-Figure. Today we're reviewing Death's Head 2, who doesn't even have a Build-A-Figure piece. But yep, there he is again on the side of the box. So there he is, he looks massive. Everyone thought this guy was going to be the Build-A-Figure when we first seen pictures, because he could be, he is that big. But nevertheless, let's open him up and have a look. Pow, so here he is out of the box, Death's Head 2. So as I said, no accessories apart from this interchangeable hand, which is just for this arm. So I'm guessing that pops off. Yep, pop off and pop on. So if you want him to look like he's picking his nose, then, oh no, he doesn't have double jointed elbow, so we can't do that. So that joke failed. But if you want him to point sinisterly, then yes, use this interchangeable hand. So what do I think about this figure? So this is massive. It could have easily been the Build-A-Figure. I understand why everyone thought that. It's got a bit of weight to him. You could tell that when you picked up the box. The design is a little bit quirky, but in a sort of messed up, jumbled way. Like, it doesn't really look appealing to the eye. When you look at the character, it's just a bit blue with a bit of metal, bit of gold, bit of brown. His face is a bit like a lamb's skull, but yet he's got dreadlocks. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not a fan of the character design. It's not aesthetically appealing. I think that's the technical term for myself personally. But if you're a fan of the character, then from the pictures I've seen, it does look very accurate to the character. He's a cyborg who sort of goes around and kills people to sort of take their personalities and their memories, and they're basically he can take. I think that's it. I think what I'm saying makes sense. I don't really know. I suppose now would be the perfect opportunity, since I'm making no sense myself, to sort of ask the question, Death's Head 2, that's it, Volume 2, who is he? So this is the part of the video where we ask the question, who is he? And I try and give you a little bit of information on the character that this figure is inspired by. So, Death's Head 2, who is he? Well, before I get into that, I thought I'd briefly explain who Death's Head 1 originally was. The original Death's Head first appeared in Transformers UK 113 way back in May of 1987. He was a robotic bounty hunter, or a freelance peacekeeping agent is what he called himself. Now, skipping ahead, Death's Head 2 was originally called Minion, and he was basically a robot created by AIM that was sent through time and space to try and absorb the universe's greatest minds. Now, on a mission, Minion was trying to get his next target of Reed Richards when he was unexpectedly attacked by Death's Head. Now, this is where Minion absorbed Death's Head personality, thus creating Death's Head 2. So there you go, I hope that helped. Again, I do not claim to be an expert, but it is nice to have a little bit of information on the characters these figures are inspired by. Now, I got into the Who Is He segment a little bit early there because I myself was a little bit confused of who he was, and I didn't want to mess up my information. But yeah, he was created by AIM. As I said, AIM are these guys. And yeah, let's have a closer look at the figure really quick before we go on to some comparisons. I'm just zooming in live here because I thought I'd show you a better close-up of this head. Now, focus. It's a decent head sculpt. Like, it is very accurate. Those eyes, you can see the detail in those eyes, even from this distance. It does look like a Shatari skull. I know it's not Shatari, but that's what comes to mind, with like some upside down devil horned. He does look very evil and menacing, I'm not gonna lie. A weird Jamaican devil lamb skull thing. Very weird, but definitely a little bit scary. So here's Def Said 2 compared to the only other 2 comic version figures that we've got in this wave, this Mantis Build-A-Figure wave, and we do have Adam Warlock and then Nilo, I'm still not too sure how to say that. Personally, myself, I only really wanted Adam Warlock when I seen this wave. I wasn't too bothered about these 2. I would have been disappointed if these were the Build-A-Figures, in my opinion. I'm much happier we got Mantis, regardless of the size. These 2 do look imposing, and I suppose they're another 2 villains you can have on your Marvel Legends shelf. But for me, I didn't read the comics that these were in. Just not a massive fan, but I guess I have them now. And here's Def Said 2 compared to the MCU figures that we got in this Mantis Build-A-Figure wave. Obviously Star-Lord, Rocket Raccoon, Nebula and Gamora. And again, he's warming to me. Now just for a size comparison compared to some other Marvel Legend Build-A-Figures, even though he's not a Build-A-Figure, I just wanted to show you sort of like the average size. Here he is next to Sandman and next to the Juggernaut. Now obviously the Juggernaut's quite impressive in size himself, but he does sort of get to the same height as the Sandman. Just maybe the Sandman's a tiny bit taller. But other than that, he is quite an imposing figure in regards to size for a single packed figure. So you can understand why he didn't necessarily need to come with a Mantis Build-A-Figure piece, because the fans of the character are going to want to get this guy regardless. But yeah, as I said, he's warming up to me. Okay, so final thoughts is, I do like the figure. I sort of come around, while I've done this review, I've convinced myself I like the figure. I just think it's the character design I'm not a fan of, but that takes nothing away from the figure. They have sort of executed it perfectly. The face sculpt for a villain is really good. It's quite intimidating when you get quite close up to it. It's just maybe the character design that I'm not personally a fan of, but in regards to the figure and the accuracy to the comic is perfect. So Hasbro, fair play. As I said, an imposing guy, he'll go good on your villain shelf. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I have now reviewed every single packed figure in the Mantis Build-A-Figure wave. So that means Mantis is my next review. So please subscribe, make sure you find the playlist and go and check out all my other reviews if you're collecting these Marvel Legend figures. And if not, I will see you on the next one.